Hello and welcome back to the Not Old Firm YouTube channel. My name is Ben Banks, here to look back on a weekend of Scottish football action. Some games more busier than others, I think it'd be fair to say. We had some of the most boring games of the season coupled by some of the most dramatic. So just the usual with Scottish football. It's not dull or quiet, it's always sort of in the middle somewhere. But plenty to look back on all the same. Over the weekend, we had one postponement. Ross County Hibs fell foul of the weather, so that one will be rearranged at some point. And the championship card was pretty much destroyed as well. Alloa Athletics, plastic pitch, getting them through against Arbroath, and that one finished one each. But in the Premiership, there was 5 games over the weekend, 4 on the Saturday. Aberdeen 0, St Mirren 0 in a game I think everybody's already forgotten about. Dundee United 3, Livingston 0. I doubt many seen that coming. And less so in this one, Motherwell 1, Hamilton 4. A thumping victory for Accies in the Lanarkshire Derby, and then Rangers 1, Kilmarnock 0. Kilmarnock running Rangers close, and Tommy Wright's second game, albeit they are now on a 7-game losing run. And then on the Sunday, recording this just after the full-time whistle there, St Johnstone 1, Celtic 2. A bit of brilliance from Odsonne Edouard, taking it away from St Johnstone, who didn't do a lot wrong in the game, but when they're playing up against a multi-million-pound striker in form, there isn't a lot you can do. So we'll look back on these games quickly. Aberdeen, St Mirren, there really isn't much to dissect from this one, apart from the fact that it's another pretty poor day for Aberdeen, and St Mirren probably, given they're playing Aberdeen, who I know they're on not great form now, but probably content with a point. St Mirren have been absolutely decimated by injuries. They've went from having one of the stronger squads sort of outside of Celtic and Rangers in terms of players on form and technical ability, but now they've lost Eamon Brophy, perhaps for the rest of the season. Jamie McGrath is going to be, if he's not out for the rest of the season, he's going to be playing with a bandaged up shoulder. Christian Dennis is out for 6 weeks. Colin Quainer is still out injured, and Jake Doyle Hayes picked up an injury in this one as well. So bodies are just flying out the side for Jim Goodwin, but they still managed to pick up a point, which, all things considered, wasn't the worst result for them. Obviously, they only started with one recognised striker in Lee Irwin, and hopefully for them it doesn't get to the point of square pegs and round holes. But for Aberdeen, the goal scoring drought continues. Again, they failed to score. It's just not looking great. Pittodrie now, there's a lot of anger about the place. Looking here, that's 5 games now they haven't scored in, and they play up against Celtic, who at Parkhead on Wednesday, who look like they're starting to hit a bit of form, albeit a bit late, and Kilmarnock at Pittodrie. That could be a really crucial one before they go back to Parkhead the following week. So between now and the split, they've got Celtic away twice, Kilmarnock at home, Accies at home, and Dundee United away. There's probably the Kilmarnock and Accies games are probably the ones you look at and go, they should be winning 3 points in them. Even the Dundee United game to an extent, but they are not scoring anytime soon by the looks of it. They've got next to nothing going forward. Fraser Hornby, Canberry, they need time to get up to speed. They really need to be hitting the ground running, but that can be very difficult for strikers who haven't played a lot of football. So, yeah, something needs to change drastically. At Pittodrie, they're perhaps lucky that Livingston's recent renaissance under Davy Martindale, where they just seem to win every game they've lost to this week, they were always going to run out of steam somewhere. So that sort of saved Aberdeen's blushes this week. If that had continued, then Livingston would actually be sitting above Aberdeen. So, yeah, it just shows you. If they do not back up their ideas, Aberdeen, Livingston, even though if they can start to pick up a bit of form again, then you wouldn't rule Livingston overtaking Aberdeen in that fourth spot. Although Hibs probably quite happy with that result at Pittodrie as well, because it means there was little ground made up on them over the weekend, with Livingston losing as well. And we'll get onto that just now. Dundee United 3, Livy 0. A brilliant performance from Mickey Mellon's men. Perhaps one of their best, if not the best, of the season from them. And just shows you what happens when you get service to Lawrence Shanklin. 2 for him. Third one was brilliant goal. They scored inside a minute with Adrian Sporla scoring there, and they did it with 10 men mostly as well, perhaps more impressively. Peter Pollock was sent off after 31 minutes. They still managed to double up on their lead with Lawrence Shanklin before half-time. It was already an uphill, even with facing 10 men, it was an uphill task for Livingston to get the victory in this one after going down 2-0. But Jack Fitzwater's red card pretty much sealed the game for them, and then Lawrence Shanklin just adding insult to injury, really. Liverpool. So Livingston won't be too fussed. They were always going to run out of steam. They've picked up an amazing amount of points in this run, more than they would ever anticipate, and to lose 2 from a grueling run where they've played 8 or 9 games in the last month, really good. So a setback for them, but not a massive season-defining one. They'll just look to go again in their next fixture. Motherwell Hamilton, everything that could go wrong for Motherwell in this one went wrong for them. But similarly, all credit to Aki's, who capped off a brilliant week. The draw against Rangers, it had to be built on. Hamilton have had a thing this season of when they've had a good performance, when they get beat after it, or it's just not been quite up to that level. They didn't just match that level that got them the 1-1 draw against Rangers. They actually bettered it and scored as well. Bruce Anderson looks a shrewd signing for them, and he made all the difference up front, linking up with Marius Ogumpo, who looked back to his best, and Ross Callaghan. If he can continue scoring at the rate he is from midfield, he could prove to be one of the underrated signings of the season. Scoring again from the penalty spot as Aki's ran out 4-1 winners. Bruce Anderson, Ross Callaghan and Marius Ogumpo scoring within 31 minutes. Stephen O'Donnell sent off as well. I know the red card and that helped Hamilton, but I think even with 11 men, 4-1 was probably justified. Hamilton just looked that bit more bothered, a bit hungrier for the victory than Muller. I think that's the sorest thing for Graham Alexander, who was sent off as well, that his side just didn't come up. And Hamilton became a real bogey team for Muller. 4 of the last 5 Lancashire derbies have all been Hamilton victories. Hamilton have won the last 2, 3-0 and 4-1. So, brilliant result for Accies. 6 wins this season, 3 of them over their Lancashire rivals, 39% of their points coming against those in Claret and Amber. So, it could turn out, if Hamilton do survive, then I think it'd be fair to say that the games against Motherwell perhaps defined it. Because, I mean, if you take away those points that they've rightly earned against Motherwell, then you're looking at them cut well adrift at the bottom. They're level on points with Ross County, moving above them at the bottom of the table, sitting on 23 points. But if you take those Motherwell wins away, then Hamilton are on 14 points for the season. So, just shows you. But win's a win, can't complain. Hamilton doing very well. They need to build on this now. Crucial game away to St Mirren on Wednesday night, as already mentioned, decimated with injuries. Can they get a draw or a victory in that one before they go away to Hibs next Saturday? And then St Johnstone are the visitors to New Douglas Park, and again another crucial performance needed from them to get that victory. But we heard from Graham Alexander and Brian Rice in contrasting moods at the end of this one. Graham Alexander looking to appeal Stephen O'Donnell's red card if he feels that merited it after taking a few complaints with that red card, whereas Brian Rice delighted with his side, and particularly Bruce Anderson after his first goal from signing on loan from Aberdeen.
I've seen it myself, and the players will know exactly how we should have defended it because of the work we've done, and we haven't. After that, the penalties, I think, is a harsh decision, but even harsher to get sent off. And then when they score, it's a tough uphill battle from there, But half time we just asked them to try and win the second half and show a bit of pride and show that we've got character even when things are going against you. And I think they did that, to be fair. But it's not enough to win a game of professional football playing for 45 minutes. It's a 90-minute game, and we were short today over 90 minutes. I haven't seen it on actual film. I only saw it live at the times, but I would like to do if we feel harshly done by. We've given a penalty away and got a red card. They've given a penalty away and there's not even a yellow. I don't know. Look, 2 wrongs don't make a right and all that sort of thing. So it'll be on its own merits. But I do feel there was a little bit of. We can feel a little bit unjust on that, but we can't just heap the sort of reasons why we got beat today on any one person. I think we have to understand that we didn't do things right from the first 5-10 minutes, and give ourselves and give the opposition something to build on, and we were chasing, and we didn't have enough. Obviously, certainly with 10 men, it was difficult for us to chase a result.
Could have been a clean sheet. Disappointed to lose a goal. I don't think we deserved to lose a goal, but I couldn't ask any more for the boys. I challenged them to try and reproduce what they produced last Sunday. and to have a go. Go with 2 up, have a go. And I think we responded magnificently. Desperate to play against Livingston. I was desperate to get back on the pitch playing, because when you've had a good performance, you want back on the pitch. But the next game against Old Firm's always a worry. It's always been a worry for me right through the years, because you get all these pats in the back and plaudits when you do well, and it sometimes affects you. It doesn't affect me, because I know what's at stake, and the players know what's at stake. And I think you see that in the performance. I see that every second ball, every header, they're throwing themselves into things, and I'm on their back, because I want the best for them. But today, we enjoyed that today. Biggest game of the season is the next game. I've said that to them. Let's go. Let's get home. Enjoy it. Let's get ready for Wednesday, because that's what I'll do. I think he's been exceptional since he came in. I think he's got a wee partnership building there with Big Marius. They seem to like playing with one another. Big lad, little lad. Jim Jeffries used to do that when I was at Falkirk. He used to like to play Big Crawford Bapty, for example, or Simon Stainrod up front, and we Crunchy off him, or Richard Cadet off him, the big lad and the small lad. And Bruce is sharp. Anything about the box and his first touch. I think he's just delighted to be playing football on a regular basis, and we're delighted to have him.
Rangers 1, Kilmarnock 0. Kilmarnock huffed and puffed in this, never really did anything in front of goal. Defensively, there were good signs. They were only beaten by a Ryan Jack goal that was goal of the season contender, but up front, again, it's similar problems to Aberdeen. They've not got a goal scorer, and that's what they'll be hoping Kyle Lafferty does. He wasn't involved in this one, but they really need him up to speed sometime soon, because, again, they need somebody to put balls in the back of the net for them. They were always going to be massive underdogs in this, and a performance more than anything would be a positive for them. And they did get that, I suppose, but Tommy Wright really needs goals. So I think Aberdeen Kilmarnock next week could be very interesting in the fact that, weirdly enough, there couldn't be any goals. Two teams that don't seem to know where the net is at the moment. I mean, Kilmarnock scored 2 against St Johnstone a few weeks ago, and I was there, and you were sort of even sitting in that game at half-time like, how have they scored 2 goals here? They weren't in the game, and then obviously Alex Dyer was mutually departing the club at the end of that one after St Johnstone pulled it back to 3-2. But even before that game, 2-0 defeat, 2-0 defeat, 4-0, 2-0, 1-0, 1-0. They need goals from somewhere. And there's some crucial games coming up for them as well. I mean, I suppose it's all cliche say every game's important, but most teams still do have something to play for at this stage in the season. So, I mean, after the game against away to Pittodrie, they need to win that one to avoid trying to get sucked in any further towards the bottom of the league. They've then got Dundee United at home, Ross County away, and Mullow at Rugby Park. So those 3 games after the Pittodrie game perhaps are the ones that are really crucial if Tommy Wright's side are to survive, and hopefully for their sake buck this trend of defeats. That's 7 on the spin now for Kelly. And then on the Sunday, St Johnstone 1, Celtic 2. Sean Rooney looks a really shrewd bit of business now. He was kept out the side a wee bit by Danny McNamara, who occupied right back after some stellar form on loan from Millwall, and Sean Rooney sort of shoehorned into right centre back. He's not a right centre back, he's a right back, right wing back, and he's shown why. His form's been really good since returning to that role. 3 goals in 6 games for him as he hits a bit of form. They hadn't conceded since a 3-0 defeat to Rangers on the 23rd of December. That looked like it could continue because Celtic looked out of ideas going forward as their mark approach. But Odsonne Edouard, with just 5 minutes of pure brilliance, a class above the Scottish Premiership, probably Premier League level quality. 2 goals in 2 minutes, and that was as. St Johnstone didn't really create much going forward either, albeit they were good again defensively. But when you've got Edouard playing that, there's not a lot you can do. St Johnstone have been on good form, another good performance, I think, from them. They'll not get too disheartened like the last one. I think 2 defeats in the last 11 or 12, and both of them have been against Old Firm. So keep beating the teams around them, keep beating teams outside of Glasgow, picking up points here and there ahead of the cup final as well. They'll be fine. I don't think they've got any real relegation fears. I know they're in 8th and they're only 7 points above Hamilton in 11th and Ross County in 12th, but they'll be fine this season. So not all doom and gloom for St Johnstone despite the defeat. That's all we've got time for on this sort of quick review. We hope you have enjoyed. Do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Some stuff on the way as well, your usual previews, reviews, and we've got League Cup build-up on the way as well ahead of the big game at Hampden between St Johnstone and Livingston. So do check out for that. Right, that's all we've got time for. As I've already said, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, Take it easy.